Welcome back to Brad's Garage. Today we're working on our 2014 VW Passat TDI. We're going to go through the filter changes. So oil filter, air filter, cabin filter. So let's get into it. All right, so next up is the air filter. It's pretty easy to get to. You're just going to need your T25 Torx. I have a little quarter drive Milwaukee here. There's 8 bolts. So they just spin up and sit in place. They don't come all the way out. So you have 1 here, 2 here. Here's the 3rd one. One more over here. Okay, then all you got to do is just lift the whole assembly up and you can grab out your air filter. Just like that. So, not bad. All right, we'll grab the new one. Looks like we're on revision L. So we started with E and now we're on revision L, so looks good. So all you gotta do is lift up, insert, ooh, make sure it's all in there. Make sure it's sitting flush. And lay the lid back down. Give it a little wiggle. Make sure, sometimes these bolts get sideways, they fall through, so just make sure all of them are straight before you get started. And snug them up. Do a little crisscross pattern. Okay, good. Keep in mind the dealer wanted $60 to do that. We bought the filter for about $25, so save some money right there. So next up is the cabin air filter. That's located in the passenger side footwell. So what I like to do is I just take the mat out of the way and slide the seat all the way back, and then we're gonna go from underneath. I'll show you. Okay, so you just have 2 little hand screws here. So you're just gonna take both of those out. And then what I like to do, there's a little, grab it, pull it. This is why I kind of take the floor mat out, because as you come down, then it wants to hit stuff. It's just fabric, so nothing crazy. And then all you have to do is slide the little door open, okay? This sticks on the filter, but you can just slide it right off like that. And then you'll find some bugs and some twigs and all kinds of goodness in there. And then you just have to bend it just a little bit to get it out, because it's going to hit the floor. And there you go. All right, so we got our new Volkswagen. Obviously, we just want to make sure we got the same thing. And they put the part number here now, so looks like it is a little bit... they've updated the part number, but as you can see, everything looks perfect. So let's go ahead and throw it in. Okay, so what I like to do before, just to make it easier, is just line up your plastic piece and slide it in. That way you can stick it up there and get it in position, and then you will have to slide it back and then slide it forward again to lock it in position. All right, so like I said, just slide it up. You have to, bend it just ever so gently. Get it in there, but it'll slide straight up. Okay, and then once you get it up, like I said, you'll have to pull back, towards the passenger side and then slide forward. That's it. So now you just got to put the little fabric back in. So you just tuck it back under, kind of goes under the side, under the lip of the dash here, really like the glove box area. So I just tuck it in there, feed it in. Okay, and then you got all the holes that you want to make sure are lined up. Okay, get all the holes lined up. Give it a little shake. Okay, and then you're ready for the little screws. And if you've done everything correctly, then those will line up, and these are just hand tight. Okay, and you guys have just saved yourself a bunch of money. The filter costs $20, the VW brand. You can even get ones, you know, half the cost for aftermarket. The dealer wanted 80 bucks to do that, so $60 saves right there. We're underneath the car now. We want to do the oil change, so we have to take off this plastic tray. So step one is you're going to get your T45. You're going to remove these three. And then you're going to switch to your T25 here. And you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9. So a total of 9. So 4 on each side and then 1 in the middle here. And then all you gotta do is slide it back. So out of the groove here in the front, slide it back, and then we can expose our oil drain plug, which is here. Okay, so we got our drain plug here. It's a 19 millimeter, so we're just using a stubby socket. Break it free. While that's draining underneath, we're back up on top. We're going to remove the upper engine cover. It's just held on by some rubber grommets. So you just give it a little pull in each corner, and it comes off. What I like to do is just crack the lid on the oil fill lid, just to make sure that we get some air in there so it drains properly. Okay, so I'm just going to take this little bracket off. This makes it easier. Our oil filter is there, the black cap there. It's a 32 millimeter, so I just get a 32 millimeter socket with an extension. I like to just get a towel, place it underneath here. Usually there's not too much oil, especially if your car's been sitting for a while. And then this pulls out. Like I said, it's kind of tricky. It's a tight squeeze here. You have this exhaust EGR stuff that's sort of right in your way. But you get it and you pull it out. You got that towel handy. And there's your filter. So after you got the oil filter assembly out, you have a couple of O-rings that you're going to need to get off. So I just use my little pick tool, and you pull those off. You got one, a slightly larger one here. Okay, so you got the two lower ones off, okay? Then your filter will come off. And then you have one more around the cap. So take that one off as well. Okay, now you're ready for the new pieces. So we have our new OEM filter. So inside your OEM filter kit, you get your filter and you get your 3 O-rings, small, medium, and large. Okay, so what you can do is, I just put a little of this oil, lube it up a little bit, and you can get it started on the bottom one. Okay, and then you can grab your next one. Now that you have that one there, it should slide right over that one, and then go to the second groove. Okay, and then you can do the same thing with your cap. So your fingers are oily. I just get some lube on there, and then go ahead and place it on your cap, and make sure you're all the way down into this top groove here, out of the threads. Just take your new filter with the VW male logo up, slide it all the way in, and then it clicks into place. Now we are ready to reinstall it back into the car. Installation is reverse, so you're just going to slide it back into that hole, and just sort of, you're targeting it to go right into the oil filter housing. And like I said, this exhaust, has a little heat shield on it. You got this electrical line. Everything is made just enough room for it to fit. And then once you get it in there, just give it a little wiggle. What I like to do is just take my socket with extension and just make sure that it goes in by hand. As long as you can do it by hand, you're not cross-threaded or it's not crooked. And then you can go ahead and tighten it up. After you get it snug, you just want to make sure it's at 11 foot-pounds, which is hardly anything at all. So it doesn't need to be crazy tight. That's what the O-ring's for. Go ahead and just put the little plastic bracket back on. Technically, this little wire loom goes right there. And we just tuck that back under. So let's put our drain plug back in. So we got our 19 millimeter, we got our torque wrench. Torque settings for the oil drain plug is 22. So now we're ready to put our tray back on. So you go back first, a little farther back, and then you can go forward and get those grooves in the front into the slots. Then what I like to do is just put one of the rear ones in place, just hand tight to hold it. And then you can start all the little ones around the edges. Okay, we switch over. Okay, bottom tray on. We got the drain plug in, we got the bottom tray, we got the car back lower. We're gonna pop off the oil cap, put in our funnel, and it holds 4.3 liters or 4.5 quarts, 5W30. All right, guys, I hope we motivated you to get out there and work on your own ride. Don't pay those crazy dealership repair costs, especially when you can do it yourself. There's a ton of resources out on YouTube to pretty much guide you through every car. Obviously, we're working on a 2013 Volkswagen Passat, but there's a lot of similarities across all platforms. So have fun out there, and we'll see you on the next one.